foreign authors. They mastered the art, and they are so good. And thrillers, basically, I'm fond of writing thrillers, courtroom drama, or reading, crime. Started off with, and then adventure. You must have heard of Enid Blyton.
Yes.
I started off with them. Then Perry Mason, James
Yes.
Hadley Chase, Frederick Fawcett, Sidney Sheldon, Ken Follett. All these people, they have some imagination.
Yes.
And they have nice vocabulary. They start off, they don't lose thread,
Yes.
and they finish in style.
Yes. Lord Hanuman, the icon of safe driving. Tell us about this particular story.
So I was addressing my troops, and I said, "Who is going to lead the regiment?" So everybody. So one youngster, he got up. His name was Sepoy Manjeet Singh. I said, "Kyo Manjeet? Kyo jana chahte ho?" So he said, he came up with a very good couplet. He says, "बीवी की दुत्कार, हवलदार मेजर की फटकार, इनसे बचना से अच्छा है देश पर कर दूं जान निछार." In that moment also, there is that emotion of couldn't be bothered. So he goes to the closer bush, and he's unbuttoned his trouser for his morning job, and he's suddenly a militant crops up from across the bush with the AK-47 in his hand, and that is the time he says, "Now it's over," because he's got his pants down. He has nothing. He can't
And
do
he's
anything.
left his buddy back.
And that guy is about to press the trigger, and suddenly Major Saab sees that guy is falling down. He's been shot, and he looks behind. His buddy has not left him. He's there.
Yeah.
Because of his discipline, he knows a task has to be done. It's a devotion to duty. Buddy system means buddy system, whether company commander is going on a mission or he's loosening his trousers to do the morning chores, he has to be there.
He has to be there.
This is the only profession in the world where at the order of a superior, you are ready to lay down your life. It doesn't happen anywhere.
Anywhere, yes.
It is not a profession, it is a commitment. जब दरबार खत्म होता है ना, तो सूबेदार मौजूद किसी का कोई पॉइंट हो, तो हवा सिंह स्टैंड्स अप, नंबर दिस ALD हवा सिंह, सी स्क्वाड्रन, मेरा एक पॉइंट है, श्रीमान मन्ने को फीती नहीं मांगता, मारा राशन बहाल कर दो. So it was that simple. He's not interested. And the CEO
खाने को मिलना चाहिए.
CEO says, "Granted." And everybody said, heaved a sigh of relief. This guy deserves it and all that. This is the kind
Wow. Welcome on the show, sir. This is Turning Pages with me, Navita Sandhu, on 90.8 Capital FM. Today we have Colonel Avnish Sharma, who wears many hats, and we'll talk in length about what all he does. He's a retired army officer, and he's here with us to talk about his latest book. So tell me, sir, how do you feel being on the show?
Oh, thank you, Navita. It's such a pleasure being on Turning Pages. I am excited.
Yeah, I am also excited actually because the title of the book, Boots, Bond and Belly Laughs. I mean, I'm really curious, and I've flipped the pages, and the titles to your short stories are amazing. It's like, title पढ़ के ही लगता है कि what is there in store. It is, it's curiosity, and it's best wit at, the reading it only. So tell me, you were an army officer and then writing a book, and this is not an account of only about your life in army, but it is anecdotes you've picked up from life and learning from army. So where does this author or the writer streak comes in your personality? Has it been always there? Or
Navita, I was very fond of reading right from childhood. I read a lot. Then I was also a keen debater, took part in some declamation contests. And while I was in service, I was writing for the service magazines. Not too regularly, but yes, I was. I loved writing. So when I got back, I hung my spurs in 2007, and I took to some serious writing, and I tried writing columns and sending them to the newspapers, to the dailies, and they would come back rejected.
Okay.
So then I had to hone my skills and, try and get to know as to what does a reader want. Because a reader is not only an army reader, they are readers from all facets of life.
True.
So finally, I sent, in 2011, early 2011, I sent a piece to Hindustan Times. And lo behold, it appeared in the newspaper, and I was very happy. And there was no looking back thereafter. You see, then I realized that they want crisp columns.
Yes.
Columns say about 650, 750 words at max. And they should be gripping. You don't have to lose the thread.
Yeah.
And they should be catchy. They should be amenable for reading by all kinds of readers.
I think you caught the nerves.
I
and the
think
pulse
I
of the
caught them
readers.
because I have now penned more than 300 pieces.
Wow.
Most of them in the dailies, Hindustan Times, some in Tribune, some in Indian Express, in some literary magazines, in various literary forums. I'm also the editor in the Chandigarh Golf Club magazine. These things. So I'd love to write, and then this book happened, of course.
Yeah. So it's very natural for you to write.
I really love it.
Yeah.
You see.
So tell me something that I'm sure 300 plus articles is a lot of writing. So do you write like every day, or it is like you come across something in life, or something happens and you keep a mental note of it? Ki, now I will go back and write about it. Has it happened like this, or you instantly it's like a routine that I have today?
No,
I'll sit and write.
it's not planned. An idea comes to me, whether it is motivated by some news items in the newspapers, normal news, whether it is a political in nature or social or things like that, or somebody said something.
Yeah.
Various occasions. Then I suddenly get reminded of a similar anecdote which happened during my service in the army.
Okay.
And then I sit down and I write. And believe you me, I do it in half an hour. And another 15 to 20 minutes to, kind of edit it and shape it for acceptability by the editor, because they are very hard to please.
Yeah, absolutely.
And within an hour or so, I'm ready and I send it.
Then you must be having a very good memory, I must say so. Because
Touch wood.
correlating it to an incident which happened and going back and netting it together.
Yes, I remember an incident vaguely, not very clearly. But then when I start writing, it comes to me. And then, of course, see, when you write an article, the basis remains an incident or an anecdote. But the writer has to kind of spice it up for it to stand out.
Yes.
And for it to get connected with the event, which is ongoing.
Yeah. So tell me this, because we are talking about how you have to spice it up and connect it to the real event. So there are characters from real life who are in the anecdote, and then something is happening. So have you changed and given them a fictional characters and or simply changed their name to save some of them?
Yeah, because most of these events which happened during my service in the army pertain to my friends, my colleagues, my seniors,
Yes.
my juniors, my jawans, my people, I've grown up with.
Yeah.
Then some articles which get motivated by my wife, which I quite frankly state, and she says most of your articles revolve around me. I said no, very few of them, but I take liberty.
Yeah.
Then some members of my family, So all
So you've been
connected.
blessed. They feel good about being written about.
They do. Even
That
you
makes
see,
your life easier.
I'm fortunate,
Yeah.
Navita, that even if somebody feels that I'm trying to be sarcastic or trying to cross the line, they take it in the right
Right
spirit,
spirit.
and so that works in my favor.
And I think your writing does it well also because you probably take care of it, how to put it in the nicer way.
Absolutely, I try and do it
Yeah.
so
So you
that.
are a veterinary writer as well, no? So makes
No, it
all
just
similar.
is like that. You see, when you are reading a lot, and I love reading fiction.
Hanji.
And fiction writing, which some of the Indian authors also now do it, but most of these foreign authors, they mastered the art, and they are so good. And thrillers, basically, I'm fond of writing thrillers, courtroom drama, or reading crime.
Yeah.
Started off with, and then adventure. You must have heard of Enid Blyton.
Yes.
I started off with them. Then Perry Mason, James
Yes.
Hadley Chase, Frederick Fawcett,
Yeah.
Sidney Sheldon,
Yeah.
Ken Follett. All these people, they have some imagination.
Yes.
And they have nice vocabulary. They start off, they don't lose thread,
Yes.
and they finish in style.
Yes. So reading is as much a part of a writer's journey as a reader would just read for fun. So writer also needs to read a lot of work from different eras, from different genre. And fiction is your favorite one. So
Absolutely.
which one book you would recommend that everybody across generation or this particular writer across generation should read? Because fiction, as you said, the adventure, the thrill, the crime, and it also keeps the brain activities very high. And, doesn't make you go dull in life. So, which author in particular
You see,
would recommend across generation?
I say that all these novels, which I just mentioned to you, they are all par excellence. There were some outstanding novels of James Hadley Chase. No Orchids for Miss Blandish. And a whole lot of these funny names. Even the titles that I've given to my articles in the book also,
Yeah.
they are, जरा हटके हैं.
हाँ जी, हाँ बिल्कुल पूरे हटके
Most
सर.
of these titles have come from the names that all these fiction thriller writers gave to their books.
Yes.
Then Frederick Fawcett, Eye of the Day of the Jackal, and most of his short stories. I still remember there was a book of short stories by Frederick Fawcett, which says there are no snakes in Ireland, and that was a knowledge also. And then it coaxes the reader to go into it. This guy goes to Ireland on some work, and he's working in a factory, and his boss there, the foreman as they call, troubles him a lot, and he's quite upset with him. So he's come back on leave in India, and he gets a snake from there,
Okay.
and he puts it in a tiffin and gives it there.
Okay.
And can you imagine? Well, nothing happened. The snake has disappeared.
Yeah. Oh.
Because that guy, foreman, opens it. It's okay. He's alive.
Ah.
And so all these things. Then Eye of the Needle of Ken Follett.
Yes. I've read
This
that
wonderful.
one.
Then writing about women by Sidney Sheldon.
Yes.
In their things.
I've
So all
read
of them
her.
have been.
Yeah, absolutely. Great work by all the great authors, and I think they are across generations.
Yes.
And you can just pick any of them.
Absolutely.
And same goes for all the titles that you've given to your stories. I was just in the morning going through it, and one of, I don't know if you will remember from your book, Lord Hanuman, the icon of safe driving. Tell us about this particular story. If
You see, I was commanding my regiment in Rajasthan, and there used to be a lot of accidents taking place in the station due to reckless driving or whatever thing, drivers not taking care of to indulge in safe driving.
Anji.
So we thought of a way that every time, our troops are very religious. And depending on the class of troops that constitute your regiment, whether if they're Sikhs, of course, they'll honor Guru Granth Sahib.
Yeah.
And Hindus in their own lordship and all that. So we had a lot of troops who would worship Lord Hanuman. So what I told these guys, I said, every vehicle which moves out of the regiment should stop at the gate. There should be a idol of Hanuman where he will stop, he will pay his obeisance, and udhar likha hai safe driving.
Oh, wonderful.
And then he will, and it really worked. But there was a counter to it.
Okay.
They realized that CEO Saab is very fond of Lord Hanuman, so Lord Hanuman's idols came all over the unit thing. So
To please you.
to please me, or to say that so overboard bhi ho jata hai kai
हाँ जी,
bari.
हाँ जी,
So
बिल्कुल.
this article was regarding that.
Yeah, and I thought वो ही ना कि आपने जिस तरह से उसको टाइटल किया है कि while reading I was like some significance, again somebody did something or some miraculously saved by chanting the name. वही तो that is the crisp title I think adds a lot to the
Absolutely,
story.
yes, you're right.
And it catches the not only the interest. I mean, you by the end of the story, you completely caught up by the twist. Okay, what was there in your mind and what
Yes.
the writer is saying. So tell us about that. Of course, they are witty stories. They are blend with humor, reality from life. Also, a deep layer of emotions are also there. So, which one do you relate was very difficult for you to write? Few of them maybe, but one comes to your mind that you wanted to say this for a very long time, and then finally you decided this should be told. This anecdote.
Actually, emotions play a very important role in a soldier's life.
हाँ जी.
And there are emotions which vary from a situation to situation. So if you remember, I wonder if you were born then, there was an attack on a parliament in 2001.
हाँ जी, sir. I was very much alive there.
And so the complete Indian Army, Indian Defence Force was mobilized, and we were almost we were at the brink of the war. And we were close to the border, close to, you must have heard Longewala,
Haan ji.
where in 1971 we thrashed the Pakis.
Yeah.
One company of Punjab, Brigadier Kuldeep Chandpuri's company. So we were very close to it. And we were waiting for a go-ahead any moment.
Okay.
So I was addressing my troops, and I said, who is going to lead the regiment? So everybody... So one youngster, he got up. His name was Sepoy Manjeet Singh. I said, "Kyo Manjeet, kyo jana chahte ho?" So he said, he came up with a very good couplet. He says, बीवी की दुत्कार, हवलदार मेजर की फटकार, इनसे बचना से अच्छा है देश पर कर दूं जान निछार. In that moment also, there is that emotion of couldn't be bothered.
Yes.
Humor doesn't die, and it is infectious. And everybody gave a smile and a laugh, and we said, we are ready to go.
Yeah. I think humor is a form of courage also. If
It is infectious, you see, because as it is, the life in the armed forces is very stressful.
Very stressful, yes.
And if you are not trying to make a light of the situation, then you are, axing your own feet. So that is why I say humor is very important, and we get raw humor.
Yeah.
We do not get jokes just like that. A guy is coming from a number of places, and
It just becomes a joke.
yes, it becomes
And it becomes the flavor, to live by those moments when you are so isolated, away from the family, and most of the time in stressful situations, when especially you are in a crisis like this
Yes,
that
yes.
you mentioned.
Yes.
So humor comes as a armor also, I would say.
Absolutely. It gives you an added kind of fillip
हाँ जी, हाँ.
to do the job, and of course, your discipline has to be
Yeah.
top notch, because if you are lacking in discipline, then any amount of humor will not try and make up for
Yeah,
a lack of discipline. But otherwise, yes, you see, there is this guy, I'll tell you an incident. There's this, in Jammu and Kashmir, when you're fighting terrorists, terrorists come and their sympathizers sometimes are in the villages. They come and spend the night with them before they have to go for their mission. So you get information that they are hiding here, and so you carry out anti-terror. You cordon the village at night
Okay.
all over so that there is no escape, and then in the morning you carry out a search. So you cordoned the village, and that time there were orders that nobody will operate single. They'll be operating in a buddy system.
Okay.
Buddy system means if you and me are in the same this thing, or you cannot leave me, I cannot leave you anywhere. So you have to stick to it, because single person remains single. If another one comes to you, become
Yeah.
11.
It's 11. Yes.
so this guy, this company commander, he has to go for his morning chores to relieve himself, and his buddy also gets up. So he tells him, "No, you relax." And so he goes to the closer bush, and he's unbuttoned his trouser for his morning job, and suddenly a militant crops up from across the bush with the AK-47 in his hand.
Oh.
And that is the time he says, now it's over, because he's got his pants
Yeah.
down, he has nothing to, he can't
And
do
he's
anything.
left his buddy back.
And that guy is about to press the trigger, and suddenly Major Saab sees that guy is falling down, he's been shot. And he looks behind, his buddy has not
Buddy's
left
there.
him, he's there.
Yeah.
Because of the discipline, he knows a task has to be done. It's a devotion to duty. Buddy system means system, whether company commander is going on a mission or he's loosening his trousers to do the morning chores, he has to be
He
there.
has to be there. So yeah, that kind of, I would say, not only dedication, but knowing that you have to hold the grounds come what may.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There is no exception to it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
So tell me, sir, this side of you, the humorous one, which, comes in your writing, you have the flair, but it has been a part of you always, even before army, you were this humorous, or you were taking on people with your humor and wit.
No, I can say that, in fact, in my acknowledgements also I put, I kind of inherited the sense of humor from my father. He had a very subtle sense of humor. He was the spice of all the gatherings. And, we belonged to a village. And in Hoshiarpur district in Punjab. And there people, most of the times, they are idle.
Hanji.
And they are very fond of talking.
Yeah.
And their dialect is very funny, and every time there used to be harvest or something like that, I used to go with my father, and that kind of a thing kind of got embedded in me, that lighter side is a major side of your life.
Yeah. Yes. And, it actually makes the entire thing very comfortable with the situation in terms of कि life ने तो life ही रहना है. It is going to have its ups and downs, and there will be times when you're completely, brought down by situation or people as well. But this helps, as we talked earlier also, it helps to sail a little smoothly without being on the edge all the time. Because you have to live by it. What else?
There is a very cautious thing in this.
Hanji.
You see, you have a good sense of humor. At times, you tend to cross the line and try and be sarcastic. You might rub somebody on the wrong side. So one has to be very clear on those aspects also. There is a limit to it. So I also tried to kind of master it by being very subtle and crisp, and
Also a
not
bit
carry
sensitive,
on, not carry on with the thing too far.
Too far. I think the ones completely off the thing I'm asking you, and people who really tend to go too far with their humor and sarcasm are actually not very happy people inside.
You see, the most important thing, Navita, is that you should be able to joke on yourself.
Yes.
laugh on yourself, and also accept people making a joke on
On
you.
you, yes.
If you are not able to do it, you have no right
Right to do that for others.
To-
on
for
others.
others.
Yes,
ये
absolutely.
बड़ी जरूरी चीज है.
हाँ, तो मैंने that's also my observation that people who actually cross the line are the ones who are actually not very happy with their own selves, and then the entire point of humor is to make other people uncomfortable.
Yes.
So that goes into the territory of judgmental and emotional health. We'll come back
Okay.
to the book itself.
Okay.
Okay. So this your entire writing is a reflection of your professional life, also your personal life, and it's a difficult bridge to gap both of them and put them together with these pieces. But tell me something about that. In your personal life, how are you different from your writings? Are you different? Or it is the same Colonel Avnish being humorous, nice, witty, making everybody comfortable, putting up the spice of humor here and there? Or it is different?
Now there are two facets to it. If you ask my wife,
Okay.
she'll say you're different at home and you are different outside.
Okay. She feels
And
that?
people think that you are very and somebody should, whenever we have a fight, obviously. Otherwise she says, okay, you are very good and all that. But whenever we have a fight, she said, look at it, this is your personality.
Okay. Now you can
So
human,
that
not
is-
human me.
So that is one facet which I do take seriously, because wife, you can't
cannot take her
afford
not
to take her
seriously.
seriously. The second is that I can feel that whenever I am amidst my friends or my acquaintances, there is generally an atmosphere of bonhomie.
Yeah.
There is an atmosphere where I feel that they are leaning on me to deliver something which breaks the impasse,
Yes.
or things like that. So that gives me a good high.
Yeah.
And I say that, okay, I should remain like that, because you, amongst your friends, you have to remain your natural self,
Yeah.
at the same time not stepping on anybody's feet.
True.
Depending
That's
on
all
your familiarity with the person.
Absolutely. That's right. So tell us also about that. You've seen army life where you've seen things happening in action and emotions that our soldiers go through. And then you've also seen this side after retirement, the civilian life. So tell me, is there a huge gap between these two lives, or how was the transition getting into this life without that action? How was the life post-retirement, I would say?
It is quite tough initially, because your curriculum, your way of life in the army is at a different level of discipline, punctuality, value systems, compared to what it is in the CV street. But at the end of the day, Navita, you must realize that we belong to the same society.
Yes. Right.
Just because I had gone to the army at a profession which demands different capabilities, different set of values, different set of talents. But since you get molded, a soldier remains a soldier till he actually withers away.
Yeah,
it
you
is
can't
it is
take
the
the army
case
out
with
of you.
veterans also. This is the only profession in the world where, at the order of a superior, you are ready to lay down your life. It doesn't happen anywhere.
Anywhere, yes.
It is not a profession, it is a commitment. And but the system, when you get back to the CV street, is different. Because there are so many other professions, everybody has their own way of doing things, because the things which happen in the CV street, whether you say the civil administration, or you go to a hospital, or you go to the courts, or you go to a corporate house, a business locality, or things like that, there is a different culture.
Yeah.
So otherwise, there is no problem. But the problem is of adapting to this new lifestyle.
Yeah.
It takes time, but it is fun.
It's fun.
No, people are very nice
Yeah.
because you belong to the same society.
Same society, yes.
The
yes.
basic set of values
Huh.
of
Yeah,
human
yeah.
beings remain
Remain
the same.
It's just the training part or the more organized, disciplined part of the army life. Yeah.
Communication gap ho
Yeah,
jata hai, which with due course of time you have to come down.
Yeah.
You cannot say कि मैंने हुक्म दे दिया ये होगा, नहीं होता ऐसे.
हाँ. थोड़ा सा
Things don't happen like that.
the flip happens. Some
You
kind
go
of flip
to
does happen.
like I tell you, for a social event in the or for everything in the army is a parade. Whether you're going to a conference or you're going to exercise or you're going to operations or you're going for a social event, dinner, anybody's house,
Everything.
8 o'clock means 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
It is 1 past 8, people will start looking at you that you've done a crime.
Crime.
Whereas in this case, it is not so. We went, there was a friend's function. He was celebrating his granddaughter's or granddaughter's birthday, first birthday, and he'd given us time 8 o'clock. When we went there was nobody there. So they were still opening the door of the resort and all that. So we were very. We hai to hai ki
आज
nahi
है
hai?
कि नहीं है?
So finally, the hosts arrived at about 8:30. And we were hiding in the bathroom. I said, let's not, get embarrassed.
Embarrass them.
Embarrass them. So at about 9 o'clock, then, people started to.
It
So this is
started
the kind
buzzing.
of thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm quite okay because one has grown up in this society.
Yeah.
We went out, then you are back in, but you got molded in a soldierly kind of a personality.
Yeah.
You get back.
Yeah.
It was nice fun.
Yeah. So I think that's also a part of training to adapt.
Very important. Your adaptability skills have to be top class.
Yeah. And life is all about adaptability, Whether an army person or not an army person, one has to be ready to adapt, to move on, to enjoy every part of life, no?
Acceptability doesn't come like that.
Doesn't.
Nobody's bothered.
True.
You see, you say hello to me. If I don't reply to you properly, to hell with it. Who's bothered, yeah?
Yeah.
Unless you have something to take from me, which most of the cases is not there when you are interacting socially.
Yeah.
So if you are socially amenable, you are not full of yourself, you are not in uniform, ki main to ye hu, main to, you come down,
Yeah.
you are part of the society.
So wherever you are, you need to fit in and become a part of it. So that's very true.
Correct.
And that comes with life training, and not necessarily
It's
the
important.
army
It doesn't
training,
come
I
to
think.
most of the people. I have seen people still carrying on with a stiff upper lip.
Yeah.
Then people just ignore them. And they said, okay, but a guy who's... what is there in life otherwise? There's nothing
Absolutely, yeah. That's again the humor of life.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, what next for you as an author? Are you planning on writing a next book? It is going to be a big one, a full fiction novel, or a non-fiction one, or again a short story one, or probably a memoir for your entire life could be.
Actually,
Anything in plan stored for us?
now this thing has taken me some time, though most of these the things revolve around the anecdotes and the articles that have already dished out in the dailies. But my desire is to write about some people that I have interacted with in the army, in my service, in my childhood, after I came back here, or when I was educating myself in school or college. Some people who stand out.
Yeah.
Some people who are not celebrities, but they've impact. I've tried to add a chapter of inspiring beings in this.
Yes, absolutely.
Of some people that who kind of inspire you. They may not be celebrities.
But they're a very important part of your life because something you learned from them or something stayed with you which is theirs.
Yes. And they may not be making you happy, but they make you emotional. I mean, they kind of bring out multifarious emotions in you.
Yeah. Would you like to mention one of them from this book? The chapters, Inspiring Beings?
Inspiring beings, there have been 7, 8 of them.
Yes. Many of them.
But you see, just to reiterate the simplicity of a soldier, When I joined service during the month of January 1981, I went to a tank regiment, and there was this driver of mine. His name was Hawa Singh. He was from downtown Rohtak in Haryana, and he was a very tough driver. He very strong, very committed. He would change a tank track. See, a tank moves on a track.
Yeah.
That track itself, changing a track single-handedly, is like lifting up a kinetic Honda scooter. It's a very tough job. And I saw him doing it single-handedly.
All by himself.
All by himself. Break the track, repair it, and put it again. And but he had a problem.
Okay.
He had an appetite of a bull.
Oh.
He would polish off 2 dozen chapatis at one time
Okay.
in the langar. We have langars going in the units. That's the cook house, the dining hall for the jawans and everybody. So, and उसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम थी कि खाओ, कोई नहीं खाओ, लेकिन सरकार जो राशन है वो इंसान के हिसाब से देती है कि तुम्हारा 500 ग्राम इतना है, ये वो. तो he would polish off a ration of more than 4 to 5, 6 people. And it was an unending appetite. तो उसका बड़ा टेंशन हो जाता था. And you can't deny anybody, if somebody is eating, you can't go let the troops go hungry.
Yes.
तो उसको बड़ी मुश्किल हुई. तो उन्होंने फिर बड़ी फाइनली बोला कि उसको ना फौज में छुट्टी जाना बड़ा मुश्किल होता है. छुट्टी कोई एप्लीकेशन दो, नहीं है आज काम है, आज ये है, आज वो है. तो हवा सिंह ने जब छुट्टी की एप्लीकेशन डालनी है तो जाओ
खाना
because they would save on rations.
Interesting.
तो इन्होंने क्या कर दिया कि देखो भाई, so the squadron commander, the guy who's the Major Saab who's looking after my squadron, he was my squadron commander. He said, भाई आज से कैप लगा दी हमने. चपाती 5 से या 6 से ऊपर नहीं किसी को देंगे. So that is the way it was, and it became the talk of the regiment. And now there was an inter driver competition at the regimental level, and Hawa Singh, like always, became first came first. तो जो CO था, commanding officer, he was having his darbar, every month he's called the Sainik Sammelan. Now earlier it used to be there where he used to talk to the troops and tell them this has to be, this and so उसमें जो सूबेदार मेजर थे उन्होंने कहा कि CO साहब खुश होकर सवार, यानी आर्मड कोर में ना टैंक रेजिमेंट में सिपाही को सवार बोलते हैं, सवार हवा सिंह को खुश होकर ALD बनाते हैं. तो ALD मीन नायक. खुश हो गए CO साहब क्योंकि he came first in the regiment. So he आया, वो सलूट मारा and he said, हाँ जी, किसी को सब जब दरबार खत्म होता है ना तो सूबेदार मेजर किसी का कोई पॉइंट हो तो हवा सिंह स्टैंड्स अप, नंबर दिस ALD हवा सिंह C स्क्वाड्रन, मेरा एक पॉइंट है साहब, श्रीमान मन्ने को फीती नहीं मांगता, मारा राशन बहाल कर दो. So it was that simple. He's not interested. He said, and the CO
खाने को मिलना चाहिए.
CO said, granted. And everybody said, heaved a sigh of relief. This guy deserves it and all that. This is the kind
Wow, beautiful. Yeah, I love the title you've given it now of Hawa Singh's Steely Intestines and Fan Club.
Yes. Everybody was happy. Everybody was thrilled that, he's got his rations back.
Yeah. So your next work probably will again have characters inspired from real life.
I want to talk about. I'm getting hold of list of some inspiring beings.
Yeah.
Which I have then keep on noting them down.
I think we all have unsung heroes in our lives who are there.
Yes.
Behind the scenes of who we are today.
Yes, absolutely. They can be anybody. They can be a friend. They can be a neighbor. They can, somebody who has kind of made you notice life, how they're changing, bringing
even
out
in the passing moments it happens.
You do that.
Yeah, that's so
but
true.
Definitely, whatever I write will have a tinge of the anecdotes from the army
From the
because I love the Indian Army.
Yeah.
And I can't just do anything without mentioning about it.
Okay, yes, absolutely. So, on that, one last thing I want to ask related to the book and writing is one thing you feel writing gives you, which probably army did not give you. Is there something like that?
No, both of them gave me a lot of pleasure. The only thing is that I had to leave the army early. And that was because of some pressures from home. My father, I happened to be the only son, and he
Okay.
was uh, very keen right from the beginning. In fact, from the beginning, even before my joining the army, there is an interesting story that also we'll tell you later. And so I had to come back early. But I had the pleasure. You see, every time a youngster joins the army, he goes to the military academy. His aim is that he should get to command his regiment, where he gets commissioned. That's a huge high. I did that. For it to carry on, you require perseverance, you require luck, you require capability, and you require time and no pressure from home. But I had to leave it, and I came back home at the age of 47, and here I am writing.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite writing ration you give yourself? Chai, coffee, or just pure adrenaline?
Most of the times adrenaline, but black coffee will do.
So, tell us about a middle you wrote that still makes you laugh. Oh, that was the best one that you think you've written.
There is one I wrote about Holiday Howler, which actually is very funny in the sense that though I've tried to put it in 650 words, it's about a mixing up of dates of Gandhi Jayanti, and the adherence to orders by an army person. In Lakir ke Fakir.
Auntie,
And,
bilkul.
and if in a misprint
Yeah.
from the higher headquarters, from army headquarters, come that if Gandhiji's birthday is on 3rd of October,
It
then
was-
nobody can change it.
Change it.
Okay.
It has to be
so
3rd
it has
of
to be 3rd of
October
October.
on
So
that
this was a nice
particular
one.
year.
This was a nice one I wrote. And there's so many of them.
Yeah,
Actually, you are
yes.
asking me to
Yeah,
differentiate
yeah.
between my children. All of them are the same. Yeah.
Yeah. But then there is one favorite among all the
No, I don't
have-
think. But you can't tell it
So,
publicly.
yeah. So I have 3 kids. So every time one of them is there and the other 2 are not, I said, "You're my favorite. You're my best."
Okay.
I know that goes. That is with all the parents. Funniest real life moment that yet hasn't come as a medal or not as a story.
It's not funny. Actually, it is. It's different. You won't believe it. We were going. My father had a Fiat. That time I was a young captain, and we were going from Chandigarh to Shimla, and My wife was sitting there. My son was there. My daughter wasn't born then. My sister was there, and my mother was there. And we were going in a Fiat of his, white colored Fiat, and we stopped at Parwanu because the radiator started leaking or there was some fan belt issue. So we parked the car in front of the shop and went to the shop. And when we looked back, that car was rolling down and there was a khud which was just about 5 feet away.
Okay. Oh, and oh God.
You see,
Uh,
now my father in his age, kind of thing, he was transfixed
yeah.
out of shock.
Yeah.
And I had a little bit of presence of mind, maybe soldierly training and all that. So I ran,
Okay.
and instead of, I said, if I try and open the door and put this, then it'll be gone because it was very close to that huge khud. And I went ahead of the car and I put my hands to it. And that car was rolling at a reasonable speed
Yeah.
downhill.
Yes.
And I said, let me do it. And can you imagine? Some supernatural power made me stop that car.
Yeah.
And that car was stopped right when my rear feet was almost on the other side of the ledge.
You.
It was a
Unbelievable.
moment. It wasn't funny, but it was that's the time I realized there is some supernatural power which
Always is there to
which
protect.
destines you for whatever it has to be done.
Yes. It also, uh, it is that power, that intelligence, I would say, that puts that idea in you to take
It is an
that
experience.
step. Yes.
And similar experience, so many of them, some of them actually turned out to be funny during my service. When you move at night in a tank in Rajasthan, there are tankas. You know, the villagers, because of paucity of water, they make tankas. So they collect water during rainy season, whatever little
Yeah,
water comes, and they have that water throughout the year. And at night, when a tank is moving from one place to another, you don't know whether there is a tanker, and suddenly the tank turtles down.
Oh.
And if there is somebody sitting on top, they go down, and it's a very
Yeah.
tricky
It's a
situation.
tricky situation. Yeah.
So such things
Keep
actually
happening.
keep you on
but
tenterhooks.
the incident you just narrated, it actually, I was very, very taken into the complete imagination. I can completely clearly see what is happening there.
It was, I don't know what power came into me. I still can't. I'm not a strong man that way. And with the car, a Fiat is a
Yeah.
huge car.
But in that moment, you appear to be Amitabh Bachchan.
No, I don't know. It is filmy.
Yeah.
It is filmy, but it is a fact.
No, absolutely. Challenging. Army humor or civilian humor? Which taught you to write, or which is more inspiring to write about?
I've spent most of my life in the army.
Yeah.
You know, I went to the army when I was 20. So from 20 to 47 is my complete, and that is the prime of your
Yes.
life.
Yeah.
And I have been through my jawans, my officers, my colleagues coming from nook and corner, length and breadth of the country. Somebody from Kerala, somebody from Assam, somebody from J&K.
Yeah.
And they have come up with different hues.
Yeah.
इधर वाला humor तो अपने बंदों का है
ही है।
ही है. But then of course, I mean, both have their own.
Yeah. A word you overuse in your daily life also.
I say excellent, I say outstanding.
Okay. Fair enough. One newspaper column you never miss to read.
I love reading middles
Yeah.
because news is the news.
Yeah.
Middles is imagination.
Yeah.
It is stories. It is experiences. So I try not to miss middles.
Okay. A book you always recommend.
Now I really will not recommend. I'll say a good fiction. I'm reading John Grisham these days. All of his books are,
Yeah.
a piece of cake. In fact,
Yeah.
Their courtroom dramas and everything. I have suddenly got hooked on to courtroom dramas. I love them. My father wanted me to be a lawyer.
Okay.
And most of my friends are lawyers, and I have been to courtroom, and I've seen things, and most of the movies I like. So my latest favorite is John Grisham.
Okay. And courtrooms have the best humor also.
They have huge humor.
Whenever I visit the court, I mean, I find so many things that is like, wow, can go in a very good book.
The day before yesterday, there was a piece which came out. I wrote a piece in Hindustan Times on justice, my tryst with law.
Hanji.
When I came back, we had a tenant in the house, and he refused to vacate. Somebody told me you can go to the court for a fast court
Redressal, yeah.
decision because you've been in the government service. Within 1 year, you can reclaim your house for your personal use.
True.
And this actually was a remembrance of our newly installed 53rd Chief Justice of India,
Yeah.
Justice Suryakant.
Hanji.
He was the High Court judge who was handling my case of this thing, and the way he tackled it is, you must read that.
Yeah.
And I've got rave reviews about that, and
I
feel
know.
proud that we have such people who uphold justice
Yeah,
and deliver justice where it needs to be delivered.
Yes. I think that is one of the pillars that keeps the other pillars quite in place.
Absolutely, we have a huge
yeah.
advantage on that.
Yes. So if laughter is a weapon, what's your book's range? Short burst or long range missile? What would you?
Actually, short bursts is better. Long range, then it crosses the limit of the words that are supposed to be there.
I would also say short burst is good. One civilian thing that you still haven't made peace with?
I'll say two.
Okay.
One is their total disregard to punctuality.
Yes. Agreed.
I have seen punctuality in two things. One in the army in all the activities, whether operational, social or whatever. And second, punctuality is when you have a time of 6:56 tee off at the golf club. Everybody is there.
Yeah.
But when it comes to social events, meetings, and all that, they drag on and
Yeah.
on. Second is also related to this. Somebody will tell you, okay, I am coming, but he will never come.
Yeah.
He will not show up.
And he will also not inform you that or apologize that you.
There is no feedback.
Feedback.
There is no feedback. It's quiet.
Yes.
And you keep on imagining, and these two things are actually irritating.
Oh, agreed. Yeah. So, okay, if you could recruit one famous author in your battalion, who would it be and why?
James Headley Chase, without doubt.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
He's got everything for everybody. Very simple to read. Everybody in my unit will be able to understand it.
Yeah. Well, with that, we come to the end of the show. It was wonderful, wonderful having you on the show, sir. Thank you for sharing your stories, your wit, and your reflections with us. Your book actually reminds us that life's smallest moments often carry the biggest warmth. So, thank you for being with us on our show.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you very much, Navita, for being such a gracious host.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful having this conversation.